Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to speak about the ellipses. The ellipses is defined as a set of all points in the plane that, or the sum of whose distances from two fixed points named foci is a positive constant. Mean that if we are taking all the set that are their sum from these 2 points, then we will have something called the ellipse. If the distances are the same all the time, for example, if I have a 3 and 2, this will be 5. If we take another point, that will be 2.5 and 2.5, which is equal to 5 again. If we take 1 and 4. So if we have the distance from these 2 points is a constant, then we have something called the ellipse. So the ellipse is the set of all points in the plane, the sum of whose distances from 2 fixed points is a positive constant. So the distance will be the same all the time. For the ellipse, we have main features or elements. We have the center, that will be the intersection of 2 axes. The larger one, we call it major axis. And the smaller one, we call it minor axis. So we have center, we have major axis, we have minor axis, we have focus point, we have 2 foci, F1 and F2. And we have 2 vertices. So for the ellipse, we have 2 vertices, 2 foci points, and we have major axis and minor axis. The foci has a coordinate. If the vertex or if the center is 0, 0, then the distance between the center and the focus point is called C. It's denoted by C. And the distance between the center and the vertex is A. Center, or the distance between center and, or the half the distance of the minor axis is B. So we have major axis, we can say equal to 2A. Minor axis is equal to 2B. So this is B, and this is A, and A. And the center or the focus point will be C0 or minus C0 if we have horizontal major axis. In general, we can speak about the standard equation of the ellipses. The standard form of the equation of an ellipse with center at the origin if the major axis on the x-axis, or we can say horizontal major axis. The standard equation will be given x squared over a squared plus y squared divided by b squared equal to 1, where a is greater than b. So we are looking for the larger one. Larger denominator will give the direction of the ellipse, whether it is vertical or horizontal. The length of the major axis is 2a. You have to be careful about this one. The length of the minor axis is 2b. And the coordinate of the vertices are a 0 and minus a and 0. And the coordinate of the foci are C0 and minus C0, where C square equal to a square minus b square. We have to be also. So we have, just make it. The first vertex, V1, it is A0. V2 is minus A and 0. Focus point is C0 and minus C and 0. This is F1 and F2. C square equal to A square minus B square, or I can say C equal to square root of A square minus B square. Take this shape. V1 is A0, V2 equal to minus A0, F1 equal to C0, and F2 is minus C0. And this will be the endpoint of the minor axis, 0B and 0 minus B. If the major axis on the y-axis, then the standard form of the equation will be given x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared equal to 1, where a is greater than b. Now, a is the denominator of the y variable. Still, we have the length of the major axis is 2a, minor axis is 2b, and the coordinates of the vertices are 0a, 0 minus a this time. These are the vertices, 0a, 0 minus a. And the coordinate of the foci are 0, c, and 0 minus c, where c is still equal to a squared minus b squared. As direct application for this, let's have some exercises. In this following exercise, we need to find the center, vertices, and foci of the ellipse given by each equation. And also we need to sketch the graph. In the first equation, I have x squared over 16 plus y squared equal over 25 equal to 1. We can see the larger one is 25. The larger denominator 25 is under the y variable. So this one is vertical ellipse. So from this one, we can find A equal, so question number 3, square root of 25, which is equal to 5. B equals square root of 16, that is equal to 4. I have A and B, so we can find C. C equal to A square minus B square. That is equal to 25 minus 16 equals square root of 9, which is equal to 3. Now I have A, I have B, and I have C. So the number 1, vertices V1, V is equal to, since we have vertical, so it will be, or let's say start with the center first. Center is given 0 by and 0. Since there is no number with x square, no number with the y square, so it is 0 and 0. Vertices B will be, we said that because this is vertical, so the vertices will be 0 plus or minus a. That will be, I will have 2 vertices, V1 and V2, 0 and a, which is 5. V2 will be 0 minus 5. And the focus point will be 0 and C, and 0 and minus C. That will be 0 and 3, and 0 and minus 3. So we can sketch this ellipse. For the V1, I will have 3. It is 0 and or 5. This is the focus point F1. F2, 0 and minus 3, and V1 is 0, 5, and 0, minus 5. And for B, it will be this point is 4 and 0, and this is minus 4 and 0. So this is the ellipse for this exercise. Let's take another one. Question number 9. I need to find the center, okay, and the vertices for this ellipse. First of all, this is not in the standard form. I have 4x squared. Because of this number, I can't find the center. So we have to put it in the standard form as the first step. Standard form, we have x squared over either b squared or a squared. So the coefficient must be equal to 1 there. If it is not 1, I have to make it 1. So I will put this 4 down. So I can write it as 9 over 4. So it is x squared divided by 9 over 4 plus y squared over 16 equal to 1. Now it is in the standard form. We can find A, B, and C. A will be square root of 16 because 16 is larger than or bigger than 9 over 4. So A equal to square root of 16, that will be 4. B equal to square root of 9 over 4, that will be 3 over 2. And C is equal to square root of A square minus B square. That will be square root of 16 minus 9 over 4, which is equal to square root of 4 times 16 is 64, minus 9 over 4, that will give me square root of 55 divided by 2. So it is square root of 55 divided by 2. Now I have A, we have B, and we have C. We can find the center is given by 0 and 0. Number 2, vertices V1 is 0 and A, which is equal to 0 and 4. This is because the A square is under the y coordinate, so this is vertical ellipse, or the major axis is vertical. And V2 is given by 0 and minus A, which is 0 and minus 4. And the focus point, okay, F1, it is 0 and C, which is equal to 0 and square root of 55 divided by 2. And F2 given by 0 minus C, which is equal to 0 and minus square root of 55 divided by 2. So we have center, we have vertices, and we have foci. So shape of this ellipse will be vertical, something like this one. Where V1 is 0 and 4, V2 0 and -4, and the focus point will be 0 square root of 55 divided by 2, and 0 minus square root of 55 divided by 2.